I mean, I didn't do any notes.
No.
No notes.
Same. Some things never change.
Yeah, there's no point.
If my notes slip, then Dolan creeps into this chair, doesn't he?
I just had a little thing in my head I was going to say, but I was going to do a little partridge.
Mum would be like, "Why have you bought this?" When I was young, I'd be like, "Mum, I like Bovril, let me live." My mum was like, "Oh, that's a lovely voice. Who is that talking?" And my dad was like, "Oh, it's Chris Dolan." And she took one look at the screen and went, "I do not like his hair."
What?
Hello, welcome to the last ever The Villa View podcast with Tom Julian and Dan Bardell. It's been a bit of a shambles in the lead-up, hasn't it, really, again? Typically on the last ever one, nothing can go right for us.
Yeah, I'd kind of say it was fitting. You know, my train was cancelled. We're squeezed into a different booth. It may look similar, but actually we're using different equipment because we weren't allowed to use the original booth, even though there's nobody in there.
Yeah, we've just checked. Annoying.
Very annoying. Train cancelled.
Yeah.
And then the other train that I jumped on was going the wrong way, so I had to get an Uber. So it kind of feels like we're back to where we started.
And also Villa lost, which is pretty much where we started, I imagine, with Villa losing, and that's where we'll finish.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's been a big 3 years, but all good things must come to an end.
And must go out on a high. I mean, not now, but I think we went out on a high on Friday.
Yeah.
Just not today, talking about us losing.
What do you want to do first? Do you want to talk about City and then the live, or the live first?
Do the cup final. Work backwards. Okay. Do the cup final. That's what people want to hear about. They don't want to hear about us.
Manchester City 2, Aston Villa 1. A weird game, really, because I think going into it, most Villa fans would have been not happy necessarily, but wanting Villa to play to their potential, at least make a game
and
of
not
it.
get thumped.
We didn't want to get embarrassed, and you come out of it, and we didn't get embarrassed by any stretch. But at the same time, I don't feel happy. I just feel, I don't know. I feel a bit disappointed. Man City never really got into kind of top gear, and I thought we could have possibly taken advantage, but we just didn't.
I'd like to have seen us put that last 5-10 minutes. I'd have liked to have seen that bit of push and that bit of energy come a little bit earlier. I think we might have scored had we done. Obviously, the one you now think about is just that one off the post at the end from Engels. If that goes in, I don't know. We still don't know whether it goes straight to penalties or extra time.
No, it goes to extra time.
It went to extra time, so that would have been unbelievable from 2-0 down. Because I remember saying during the game to my dad, "You don't come back from 2 down against City." And that would have made me wrong, and I'd have been very, very pleased. But at 2-0, I was expecting 5-6 again.
Yeah.
Got to be honest.
Yeah.
The disappointing thing for me is the manner of the 2 goals. They're not great goals, are they? You're playing against world-class footballers, but they haven't had to do anything world-class to score against you.
I agree. But before they took the lead in 19-20 minutes, you know, Villa looked like they wut sharp the first 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Best early chance came to El Ghazi, a beautiful ball in from Ahmed El Mohammadi, and El Ghazi meets it perfectly, just nods it over the bar, and then for the next kind of 5-10 minutes, Villa looking not necessarily dominant, but at least matching City, going forward with City, and it's like, all right, there could be a game on here.
And we had a game plan, didn't we? And obviously that all goes out the window when you concede, and then concede again shortly after. I've got to be honest, my memories of the game are quite hazy. And yeah. I've not watched it back. So,
well, I'll lead you through.
I'm running off memories here that might not be correct.
Yeah, I mean the memories are as equally as poor as yours, but I did my due diligence for the last podcast, and
you've had the time.
Watch the highlights back, and Villa looked sharp. You know, Phil Foden has chances.
He played well.
Sterling had chances. He's man of the match.
Annoying though, like I don't think I've ever seen him play right midfield.
Yeah.
And he doesn't usually play. Yeah, let's throw him in against Villa, and he has the best game of his fledgling career.
I said that I was sitting with Dan Rollinson and his new missus
Shannon.
I said straight away, why is Foden playing? That doesn't seem to make any sense. But
classic Tom Julian. What a quip from Tom Julian.
It's not even a quip, it's just an observation.
What's the point of him playing?
But he comes in and
makes an assist.
Well, it's the same with El Mohammadi. I was like, that seems like a strange move to me. And then immediately...
I didn't mind that.
Well, he puts in a great ball for El Ghazi, and it's like... fine. Dean Smith seems to know more than I do. Which,
shocking.
It makes sense. But then... Sergio Aguero hits the hammer blow 19 minutes in. You know, Rodri seems to get a little bit too much time on the edge of the box, goes over to Foden heads it back across, and Aguero just gets over the ball, hits it low and hard, and Neelan's beaten.
Yeah, Target got caught out a couple of times, didn't he, with Foden not being exactly where well, with Target not being exactly where he should be, switches off, doesn't quite track until it's too late. It's an easy header across the goal for Foden, really. He does well, but it's just simple, and Aguero doesn't miss from there.
I just think...
He had a quiet game, Aguero, I actually thought, but he ain't going to miss that.
There's a point right, like 80 minutes or so in, where he rifles one into the side netting, and that was pretty close. But yeah, you're right. Apart from that, he was kept quiet, and you kind of think if you can keep Aguero quiet, you might be on for a day. But for me, it was Rodri has so much time to lob the ball over to Foden. I think Nakamba could potentially do better with the initial closing down, but it's one of those, isn't it, where there's 2 or 3 passes at the edge of the box, we don't deal with any of them, and then Aguero's going to put that away.
It's about that being a bit passive again.
Yeah.
That thing that we've talked about before. That goal felt a little bit passive, like you say, a bit of intensity to close down the initial cross. I do feel like we let crossfield balls come in, and crosses come in a little bit too easily. And then not tracking a runner isn't great, is it? From Target had a difficult day.
Yeah.
At left back, the change from 3 at the back to 4 was better for Villa.
Yeah.
But it's not better for him. So it's a difficult one. You've got a left back that's much better playing when he's got the more freedom to attack as an actual wing back rather than playing as an orthodox full back, and he got caught a couple of times, and he had a difficult day. I mean, he probably wouldn't have been expected to play against Foden, would he?
No.
One of the last things you would have expected is Phil Foden lining up in right midfield. He'd have been preparing himself for someone else, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, someone like that. I would have think cutting in all the time on the left foot. I mean, that's what Foden does as well. But Foden is a central midfield player, whereas the other two are more adept at playing on the wing. But yeah, that first one's just absolutely killed us, and you think from then it's going to be a really difficult day and it's going to be hard to recover.
Yeah,
and then we concede a second.
City set in and they're looking sharp. They're continuing to attack, and the second one is only 10 minutes later. And again, it comes from a corner, and the big argument is that it shouldn't have been a corner, and you look at it back and there's no way that it's a corner.
You have got to defend the corner. There's no excuses for not defending the corner,
it.
But it does feel a little bit like it's another cup final where an official, rightly or wrong, well, it's wrongly, has got something wrong. I mean, you're going to defend the official a little bit from the point of view that you think it was difficult to see.
Oh, I don't think
linesman.
I don't think the lino could see it at all. It's right behind Gundogan, and it comes off, and it comes so quickly. There's no way that the lino can see that. My problem with it is that we have the video technology now. Somebody, a fifth official or whoever, can sit in a booth and just watch the TV, and there's a replay which immediately shows that it's not a corner. So why that can't be reviewed within 10, 15 seconds makes no sense to me.
Not the remit. That's what they all say. But it should be the remit.
That's exactly the problem, isn't it?
Like you say, it takes such a minimal amount of time to have a look at that. It's not like every corner and every goal kick decision is close. Like, not all of them are contentious.
Especially when everything is on TV, so everyone can see it. Around the world, you can see that, and it just makes a mockery of the system that everyone are sitting at home, and a large majority of the stadium can see that it's not a corner. The lino legitimately can't, and therefore that's where the technology should come in and help out the officials. And at the moment, it's still not doing it. It feels like we're flogging a dead horse on this one, as many people and pundits all over the world are. But it's just another failing of the available technology not being used. I know Carabao Cup, some things can't be reviewed and all that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is the way that they do it is wrong.
I do think also across the English game, across the European games, I just think everything should be the same. Why is it different? Because VAR doesn't seem to cause problems in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Because it's different. Why isn't it just the same consistency throughout, everywhere? All the governing bodies come together and say, these are the rules of the... You play with the same rules, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So why don't you play with the same VAR?
It's fair.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
It's a fair question.
It doesn't make sense. You and your refereeing buddies, you've got to get this right, Tom.
Once we've done the Villa View podcast and we're finished, I can really concentrate on my first.
I'd be quite interested to see what it would be like in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Like whether what you come across in the Bundesliga in your new role and how they do VAR and officiating and stuff. It'd be interesting.
I'll report back in September.
Thank you. I mean, obviously, just because you live in the country, I'm still going to speak to you sometimes, I think.
We'll see.
So it would be nice to know if you think it's any better.
Yeah.
In Germany, but it doesn't get away from the fact we've conceded too many from set plays in recent months, and yet again, you look at it and you think it's avoidable.
Yeah.
It's passive. Gilbert marking Rodri is stupid.
Yeah, and Rodri gets away from Gilbert, he breezes away from him really, and the header is a comfortable one. It's a decent ball in by Gundogan, but it's too easy.
Yeah.
The whole thing's too easy.
But then, something I've read is that Heaton was on punditry duty at the weekend,
Right.
and he came out and said Rodri was someone we'd identified as a threat from set players.
Right.
So if we've identified him as a threat from set players, why is one of our smaller players marking him? Why wasn't one of the big boys marking him? Was Mings or Engels not marking him?
I don't know the answer to
Like
that.
a massive side Man City here,
No.
are they? If you look, even like you've got Fernandinho playing centre back,
Yeah.
he's not a proper defender. He's not tall, good in the air. So you look at it, you've got
Stones.
You've got John Stones and you've got Rodri. They're the two that you need to mark. And we've left their tallest player a free run at it, and he ain't going to pass up that opportunity.
No.
And we're 2-0 down, and at that point I'm thinking, yeah, routing coming again here.
Yeah, and that's the point where in stadium the fans start to sit down, and like you then get the divisive fans between those going, "Oh, you useless fans sitting down." And then
There's
the
this one guy, he was not near me, but I could see him, and he thinks people aren't supporting the team unless they're standing
Yeah.
up. But some people can't. My dad cannot stand up for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
There's absolutely not a chance of it happening. We were lucky actually that in where we were sat, without being disrespectful, it was quite an elderly area.
Right.
So there wasn't much standing up going on, which suited him. I think he was quite pleased. But then obviously you've then got like a younger element within that crowd as well that
Yeah.
want to stand up, and you're right, it causes problems.
Yeah.
I mean, the rules are, you're very much a rules man. The rules are that you have to sit down,
I didn't sit down.
didn't you?
No.
Oh God.
Rule breaker.
Your mum listening.
Happy birthday,
I
Mum.
did notice that in the notes. It's literally the first thing you wrote on the notes. Yeah, I think if I hadn't mentioned your mum, then there's a chance that wouldn't have been brought up.
No, I've told you the story, haven't I, before, of when I forgot my mum's birthday.
I can't remember, but rehash it for some
It's
podcast gold.
honestly the worst moment of my life where
I think I've ever done that.
I rang my mum to ask. It was my first year at university, and basically
Can I buy this white shirt, mum?
It was student loans weren't due for another month, and I basically run out of money.
Oh,
so
no.
I rang her. I was just like,
You
"You're right, Mum?
have never told this story.
You're right, Mum. How you doing? Everything okay? Would it be all right if you just put some money in my account and I can replace it when student loan
I'll
comes
transfer
in?"
you my birthday money.
And she just went, yeah, that's fine, but I thought you were ringing because it's my birthday. And literally,
I wouldn't have told you.
my heart fell through my bottom.
Because
And-
you think you're the most popular of the Julian children, don't you?
No, I definitely get a good deal because I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
So that helps, but this was not a popular day. I just felt awful because I just plumb forgot.
You've not forgot today.
I've not forgot since.
I genuinely think you would have missed that if I hadn't just brought it up.
I sent her a gift and a card, and
Well
I've
done.
messaged her today. So yeah, we're okay.
It's
But
also
it
a
is
friend.
the top
She
of my notes.
shares a birthday with friend of the channel, Kevin Grealish.
It does indeed,
Hello,
yeah.
happy birthday, Kev.
Who we enjoyed a nice walk around town with on
Yeah,
Sunday night.
That's what I do after Wembley games. Walk around with Kev.
Anyway, so how did we get onto my mum?
Because I can't remember. I really can't remember.
Something about birthdays.
No.
Or my mum.
No, we've gone. I don't know how we got into. If you can leave us in the comments how we got into talking about Tom's mum then, because it wasn't from the notes.
No. Anyway, there you go. Gundogan.
Elderly people.
That can't have been that. There must have been another layer. Anyway, happy birthday, Mum. Gundogan. Standing up.
Yeah, fine. Elderly people, basically.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Anyway, so at 2-0 down, and the kind of the wind has really gone from the fans and the players. It looks like, it's just a bit dead at that point. And,
Yeah.
and Villa fans sounded great. I watched some of the highlights and some of the little social clips from football away days and stuff. And Villa sound magnificent.
Fans are
but
marvellous.
You don't quite get that when you're in there. I mean, Man City seemed quiet, and Villa fans were singing.
They perked up when they scored a couple, didn't they?
Yeah.
Lit for about 30 seconds.
But it's quite cool to watch it back and hear that. But Villa put a nice response together. You know,
Yeah.
the Samatta goal came about 40 minutes in, and it's a lovely header. Again, El Ghazi, the creator, and Samatta really times his run perfectly. It's a great diving header, right in the corner. Bravo with no chance. And at 2-1, going into half time, you're like, okay, we're not dead and buried here.
Yeah, because I speak to a lot of people before the game, and El Ghazi was obviously coming in for criticism after the Southampton incident where he went off the pitch with what people will say was soft.
Yeah.
We don't know the ins and outs of what was wrong with him, but I'm presuming he's okay because he played
Yep.
on Sunday. But he's quite productive if you've asked me to pick a team for a cup final in the 11, he would be in there for me because he is productive and he's put in a good cross. He's done well. Aided by John Stone's falling tree act.
Yeah.
But in a way that annoys me a little bit because I just feel we could have got him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't rate John Stones. If he's playing for England in the Euros, he will give me a heart attack. I just think he's an accident waiting to happen. I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
It's my just personal opinion for me that with John Stones. He falls. I mean, he just fell basically. There's
Yeah,
no one
he
anywhere
did.
near him.
Yeah, it's
inexplicable, really.
Yeah.
And then El Ghazi takes advantage of it. It's a great header from Samatta, who we G'd up in the club shop on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel partially responsible.
Yeah, I mean, give yourselves a little assist there as well. We saw Samatta before we did our live event on Friday, had a little chat with him. To be honest, his English was very good, but I don't think he understood my accent.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
little chat.
I feel like that was the problem. Not that his English was no good. My accent was the problem. I'd ask him a question and he basically didn't know what I'd said.
He gave me 4 verses when we had a nice conversation.
Yeah, the posh accent.
Yeah, but a great header, and Samatta really has started off being super lively. It's just how productive we can be around him
because he links the play very well.
He's taking his chances and he looks lively, and he will be a massive part of whether we stay up or not. We need to provide him with the service. I felt a bit sorry for Jack Grealish throughout the game because he just didn't get into it, whether he was injured or whether he had cramp, like I think a couple of people were reporting. We just didn't see the best of Jack Grealish.
I don't think he was injured.
Okay.
I don't think
there was a couple of times where he pulled up and it looked like he was stretching out.
I'm sorry, I'm talking pre-game.
Oh, right,
he was carrying no knock or anything like that pre-game.
Right. But regardless, he didn't have that kind of those moments where he just takes on the team and looks super sharp. There's not a moment I really recall of him taking the game.
I thought he was good in the first half. Second half, I don't remember him getting the ball that much, but that's not necessarily just down to him, is it? I mean, when at one point I looked up at the screen and we were on 28% possession, like, he isn't going to thrive in a team with 28% possession.
We finished with 30%.
So there we go. I think that goes some way to telling you why you feel like he wasn't in the game. It's difficult, isn't it? Because Man City, obviously, they know he's the threat. If they get people like Rodri around him, and he was playing as a number 10, he was playing in Rodri's area, they just nullified him a little bit, and it was pleasing that even without, like, he didn't have the world's best game that he'll ever have in his life, but we were still quite useful, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think we were poor by any stretch of the imagination. I'm quite proud of them. Like, if you'd told me we were going to lose 2-1, I'd have thought, okay, that means we've put up a fight. That's good, and that is what happened. But I just wish we'd gone for it a little bit earlier towards the end. But if you asked me to pick a man of the match for Villa, I think I'd struggle to pick one. I don't think there was an outstanding display from anyone. I thought Neelan did well again in goal.
Yeah, made a couple of really important saves.
You know what I mean? There isn't like Foden you pick out from Man City and you say he was their best player for me.
Yeah.
For Villa, they were all just steady.
I thought
it was a good team performance.
I thought Mings played well, a couple of important blocks, a couple of decent headers.
He was a bit slow off the mark for the first goal, to be honest, but as well, we're getting nearer to Aguero, but
potentially.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on, because I mean the second half is a bit odd in terms of it goes fairly quickly for me. You know, Man City had a lot of chances, but Milan made a couple of excellent saves. The one thing that stands out for me, apart from the ending there, is
a Bravo impression.
El Mohammadi wins a free kick on just at 5 or 6 yards outside of the Man City box, and Grealish puts it across, and it's just too big for Tyrone Mings and goes straight out. Essentially, I just think that's a key moment where again we've not been lights out on set pieces. But you know,
set piece taker isn't on the pitch for a lot of the games at the moment.
You don't get those opportunities very often, and to have it go straight out was just very disappointing. And obviously, Target's standing over it as well. Grealish goes for it, and I'd back him every day, but that was not the moment to hit it over rather than under hitting it, which I felt was quite frustrating. The other thing was the fact that you could just bring on Kevin De Bruyne
after 50 minutes. They didn't even give us we'll do it with 15 minutes left, 20 minutes left. They literally brought him on straight away in the second half.
He fell over literally within a minute of touching the ball, but then looked very sharp. He was involved in things.
Yeah, when he was first on the pitch, he's unbelievable, isn't he? He's so good. Like, he was just pulling the strings completely as a masterclass in there for like the first 10 minutes when he came and after he fell over.
Yeah,
he was really, really good. Like I say, my overriding emotion is probably pride afterwards. I think at the end of the game, the beer plays a part in this. I was a little bit disappointed. I felt sad because I just want to see us win something.
Yeah.
I just want to win. I just want to see us win a trophy, being sat next to my dad again without being morbid. He said it himself. He said he was sat there thinking, "Oh, will this be the last time I see Villa in the cup final?" And you just want to have those moments, don't you? Took it for granted when I was 10 when we last won a trophy, because as I said in the live, you just expect that it's going to happen all the way through the season. And I think there's some behavioural issues with certain fans on the day, but I've got to say my experience of the day was very, very good. Lots of lovely people. Had a great time.
Yeah, I tweeted the same yesterday. You know,
there'll always be some that let themselves down.
There were pockets of fans who acted stupidly, and there were fights and all that kind of stuff, and there's no way that we condone any of that. And even our cameraman Jacob, who is one of the nicest young boys in the world, he got into some trouble, not through any.
I can guarantee now,
not
without
really
knowing the facts, he won't have started that.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous, especially like. Not to justify fan versus fan when it's opposition fans, but that at least makes a little bit more sense than Villa fans and Man City fans, I think, fighting between themselves and all that kind of stuff. It's just balmy. I don't get it. But to your point, I didn't see any of that. The closest I got was one of the Bedford Lions had a busted nose outside Box Park just as I was walking past, but it already happened. It must have been 5 or so minutes before me.
Oh, really?
But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything, but you just hear these reports and there's racial reports.
Stuff. Then that's unacceptable.
The whole thing's just a joke. Like, we're all there for a good day out. None of us were expecting to go there and waltz past Man City. You know, like you say, we've played pretty well. What's the point?
I don't know, like, why these people even bother with it. Like, they obviously get so little enjoyment out of their own lives, and even out of going to the Villa, it's ruined someone else's day. Like, as I say, my experience of the day was very, very positive. I didn't see any trouble. Everyone that came and spoke to us was really, really friendly, really nice about us, nice about the channel, which is I'm forever grateful for. And I really, really enjoy speaking to everyone. So my experience of the day was good, other than we lost. Yeah. But yeah, people just have this determination to try and ruin things for other people, and it's not on. And the racism stuff is just that. To racially abuse anyone is disgusting. Yeah. But to do it to your own fan base, like why? What possible reason is there to do that? You're there for the same reason. Anyway, I have to go to talk about the football.
Yeah, the whole thing's abhorrent. Let's get back to the game. There's one point, 73 minutes, Neela makes an excellent save from Rodri again, a nice header, and he's down to his right.
Sharp, he's very, very sharp. He's a very good goalkeeper.
There was only one moment, I think, where he looked nervous, where he fumbled the ball. But generally, I thought, like you say, Neela had a decent game. And then Engels has an opportunity to level the score. Claudio Bravo with a very good reaction save himself, pushes it onto the post, comes out to Grealish. Grealish heads it back across, and Bravo claims it.
Can you imagine if that had gone in?
The scenes.
Oh my God.
The scenes.
Oh my days. Can you imagine?
I mean,
you knew it had gone then, though, didn't you? Yeah. You know you're probably going to get one half chance. That was a good chance. Yeah. I'm not sure Engels connected with it the way he would have absolutely wanted to, because I actually don't think it's as good a save as I've seen made out. I actually think you should get it away rather than tipping it onto the post. Yeah. Is my personal opinion, but it's a good save. Yeah. It's a decent save, isn't it? One of the disappointments I had from Villa on the days as well. Again, this must have been about 70 minutes when I looked up and I saw the possession stats on the scoreboard and saw the foul stats. We'd made 2 fouls at the time. If you're playing against a team who has as much of the ball as Man City, and it comes down to this again, comes to the passiveness that I'm talking about. Yeah. You expect to have made more than 2 fouls after 70 minutes playing against the players that you're playing against. We're too nice. Be a bit nasty.
I think that's true.
Man City were making tactical fouls. Do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it got a bit tasty in the middle of the game, didn't it? With Sterling and Gilbert, is it? And then Nakamba goes through Aguero, which was I don't know whether that was a foul or not. He gets the ball. He definitely goes through Aguero. I
can see a little bit why it was given. I mean, Aguero's leg didn't look in the best state after the game. I presume it came from that.
Yeah. But he hits... I'm kind of the opposite opinion that's what football... That's what football used to be. You know what I mean? When men were men, all that kind of crap. But it's anyway. It's by the by. There were a couple of meaty challenges, but you're right. There wasn't. We miss McGinn in there breaking things up and being a little bit, clever. You got what 15 times last year. We miss him.
Yeah, I didn't think Louise was too involved in the game. To be honest, I don't think he got the ball enough. Yeah. Again, that's when you've had 28% possession. Or 30% possession, you can't really level that at him, but I'd like to have seen him on the ball a bit more and him sloppy a couple of times in there. I'm not sure the midfield worked necessarily.
No.
If someone's asked it, you might as well throw it in there now.
Which one?
What does Conor Harahan have to do to get in this team?
What does that was one of them. What does Conor Harahan have to do? And we've always been a fan of Conor's, and we could have done with him, especially with that free kick. And
being my team, I don't buy this. I think the reason he's not being picked is due to the defensive side of things.
Yeah,
we can see so many goals without him on the pitch. I just can't see how that can be a reason.
Yeah.
And at least he might nab you an assist or a goal.
Yeah, or pick up a crafty booking.
Also, he looks after the ball, which is something we're not very good at.
The question I was trying to find was somebody questioned Dean Smith's tactical decision of taking off Samatta.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
And I agree. Samatta obviously scored our only goal. Why not have two strikers on there?
Because you're losing.
Yeah.
When Keenan's on the pitch, what you want to do is with Keenan is get people close to him. So surely the best way of getting someone close to him is having a striker up alongside him at that point. When you're losing, there's nothing to lose by going two up front.
Yeah.
I thought that was a strange sub.
I agree. And
Keenan looked lively again when he comes on. He makes a difference. He makes an impact when he's on the pitch. He's just not on the pitch enough.
I really hope he can step up next year and just make that little leap. I think he's still not quite a fully fledged Premier League player.
Well, no, he's barely played.
But what I mean is, I don't think he could lead the line if Villa only had one striker left, Keenan Davis. I think we'd be in a bit of trouble.
If you think about it, throughout his time, really, he's had a third of a season playing, that's that.
I get that.
That's all he's had there.
And
he must be behind in his development.
Yeah, and well, I mean, he's still a very young player.
He's 21, 22, though, you'd expect. But that's not young anymore, 21, 22. I think you should. Yeah, it is, but I think you should be at a different stage of your development by that age. I think he's a couple of years behind where he should be mainly through injury.
Yeah.
Mainly through Bruce had the stockpiling of strikers, didn't he? That he just wanted another striker all the time, and Davis was doing a good job up there. But
listen, I don't disagree. It depends on where you think Davis's ceiling is, because he's got a lot of talent.
I think he's a lot better than a lot of people think.
He just needs to work on his natural finishing. I think that's the one thing that we haven't quite seen from him.
He doesn't miss loads though.
No, but he's had snapshots where he could have done better with them.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. Maybe he just needs more game time. But then he should probably look to go on loan, because I don't know how he's going to get there.
Because we've had issues with our recruitment of strikers, we haven't been able to do that. We're like hamstringing ourselves really a little bit.
So the final whistle goes 2-1 City. Dean Smith gets everybody on the pitch, gets the huddle.
I liked that.
It was nice. Do you want to know what he said? Did you know
Please,
what he said?
I don't know whether I've seen it.
I told the players I was proud of their performance. Against City, you're going to have to be patient and disciplined, because you know you're going to be starved of the ball. We saw that in the week against the Bernabeu. The performance like that will get you wins against other teams in this league. And
but we have to put those performances in. That's what we haven't been doing.
We had that huddle at the end, and yes, they were disappointed, and they'll feel that tonight, but they'll wake up with pride tomorrow. Totally agree with what you're saying.
What he says is actually how I felt, because although I felt a little bit sad, and I felt like we could have done a little bit more at the time, but when I look back at it now, I think, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of my football club.
I think that's ultimately the aim, isn't it? You know, we wanted to go there and show the best of Aston Villa. Whether we did that quite or not, we didn't quite see the best of Jack Grealish potentially, but we took on a team that's full of superstars, that's going to go further in the Champions League potentially. You know, they've won this cup the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, they're no mugs.
It's amazing that he's won that cup so many times in a row.
4 in 5 years.
It's underrated.
As well.
I don't care who you are. That's underrated. It's an underrated achievement.
I agree. I mean, Pep Guardiola's record in domestic competitions is
really
insane.
good.
It's like 8 and 11 or something like that.
Title race is back on for them now. After Liverpool did
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that was the overall thing of the weekend. Was not the cup final wasn't even the biggest disaster, losing a cup final. It was all the other results.
Yeah, Norwich, West Ham, Watford, all coming in. And to go back to the original point, we need to see that performance that we showed on Sunday when we go to Leicester on Monday.
God,
you know, that's a tough place to go. But Villa need to pull out a result, because other teams are. And I was speaking to quite a lot of people about this, and you know, this constant thing that's like, well, we're 17th, so we're still okay.
We're not now.
We're not now, and that's because the others, we shouldn't be relying on other people to not get results. They're a burden here.
I've just noticed that the wall is, the ceiling is like
masking taped
Masking
on.
tape of paper rather than a proper panel, which isn't great.
That looks very disconcerting.
This isn't even the St Andrews booth at this point. What is it?
Literally stuck together with paper and sellotape.
Not good, that's not. Doesn't feel very safe in here all of a sudden.
No, right, so what was I saying?
I don't know.
We were relying on other people not getting a result, and that's not the way you should be going about it.
And then you get caught a cropper because everyone's got a result.
One of the questions, again, sorry I don't have the name, but would you be happy going into last game of the season needing to get a result against West Ham away?
I mean, if a win guaranteed staying up, I'd probably take that at this point, to be honest, I would. Just going into the game,
Right.
still being in contention to
Yeah,
stay up,
I mean-
and if you win, you're up. You stay up. That's like a one-off cup final, isn't it? I would take that though at this point if I was offered it.
Makes me feel sick thinking about that.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm still carrying a little bit of a hangover anyway. but yeah, do you know what I mean? Though?
Yeah.
I'd take that. I think.
I think, well, yeah, you have to be in contention, don't you? It doesn't look like we're going to get out of trouble.
No.
So therefore, it's probably going to be...
Someone's asked whether we think hand on heart that we'll stay up, and if I'm, again, you'll know from over the years, I'm not a negative person. And obviously, hand on heart last year, I didn't think we'd get promoted either. So it's probably a good omen. I feel like this, but if I had to put my life on it at the moment,
Yeah.
I would say I think we're going to go down.
I said that last week, or the week before actually, before Southampton, when we lost to Spurs in a relatively good performance, but we still lost. And then I thought, well, do you know what? We just can't do anything right.
When that goal went in, that was when first time I thought, we're down here.
And then we play so poorly against Southampton, and it's just like, this is just so backward. The results go against us. I said it before. Unlucky teams go down, and you know what? We haven't produced the performances when we needed to. So.
And sometimes when we have produced performances, we've still not won the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So, you know, there's still a few games left to go, and we're very much in contention. But we need. I said before the game on Sunday, we have two real kind of sparks left in us. The cup final, which was a good performance, and it's not like we got battered 6-0.
Yeah, and I hope that can like galvanise us, that little huddle. You just feel like that could be a moment where the players think, right, we're in this together, let's do it.
And the other one is John McGinn returning, because I think John McGinn comes back and he grabs the team by the scruff of the neck, like Mings has done, like Grealish has done before.
Yeah, maybe just had a technical error. I think we're okay. I think I just briefly hit it.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
As I say, we're recording the audio basically on my phone plugged into a microphone at the moment, so the sound isn't going to be as crisp as it normally is, but
yeah.
It was either that or don't do it.
Yeah.
We wanted to go out and do a podcast, didn't we?
Totally. So yesterday's huddle, that might be the start, and hopefully it is against Leicester. We see that. McGinn's the other one, and he comes back, and we look lively and lead us off. We do now have over a week, well, not now, but we had over a week of rest to get ready for Leicester, and you just got to see a big performance.
Yeah, they're not on the best of runs at the moment, Leicester, are they?
They haven't won in like 2 months or something.
No, we are really in trouble here.
This is falling off.
This couldn't be just the end of the podcast. the end of me and you.
Oh no,
We're in big trouble. Let's throw me.
They haven't won in a couple of months.
No, McGinn's not going to be back for that game. I don't think. I think he'll be. They're saying Newcastle at the moment, aren't they? Is when he's going to come back. He strikes me as being the kind of player as well. Like, I know sometimes people come back in and they're rusty. I feel like he'll just be full tilt straight away.
Yeah.
That's just the way he is, isn't it? Which is a good thing for us as well.
Especially against Newcastle. Can you imagine him coming in, banging in a couple, and Villa win?
I mean, no, I can't imagine that at the moment. But the thing is with that's a massive game. That's an unbelievable. I still don't think they're safe.
Yeah.
I think they're still in the mix. I do, and a lot of their fans think the same as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's see. So that's it. The cup final, not the right result, but like you say, I had a really good day, and I kind of felt weird about that, losing the cup final, but actually having a really good time. I'm meeting some people that I'd never met before, and like you say, everyone was really friendly about the channel.
Box Park's excellent. Box Park is excellent.
Finally.
No, I mean say finally. I realised it was good last year after the game, but even before the game, we were fortunate to get in, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Nathan Dorr sorted us out. Thank you to Nathan.
Big thank you. I sent him a message yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
For getting us in. That was great. We had a good time. Looking forward to Taylor Fest next summer after his little his brief cameo on stage.
He loved it,
didn't he?
It was great. It was so good. The atmosphere pre-game was brilliant, and even after the game, it was
I had a good time afterwards.
It wasn't in the best mood when I got home. In terms of my wife wasn't in the best mood because obviously driven back on Friday night, woke her up again on Sunday night. not ideal.
For me, because I didn't actually get home. I didn't get home till Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. So by the time she'd seen me, I think she was just glad I was alive.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Let's talk briefly about Friday night then. It was brilliant.
Excellent.
Yeah, we hosted.
I feel very. I just keep interrupting you, sorry.
Yeah, you do.
I feel very, very best. I hate that phrase as well, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about the weekend we've had, and I think about the people that showed up on Friday and the people that came up and were like genuinely upset the channel's ending and were speaking to us around Box Park on Sunday as well. Like, we're very, very lucky. I think we've been very, 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 very fortunate.
Yeah, totally.
Like we get in person a lot of love.
Yeah,
and I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just wonderful to hear nice things. I think that's what we've always said, isn't it? Be nice to people around you, because it's nice to be nice, and people have always been supportive of the podcast, and that's kind of taken us by surprise a little bit at times. And again, on Friday night people bought tickets to come, which is ridiculous. So we had about 200 people there. I think we raised just over £4,000 for
that, which is more than last time.
Yeah, more than last time. All going to the foundation this time. So hopefully the Dementia Cafe, which we selected the kind of cause for the money last time, that should run it for a years, I think, which is just amazing. And people were so generous, not only in their compliments but in their fundraising as well, with the auction and the raffle and stuff. So a big thank you to everybody that came, everybody that donated. There is a Just Giving page now if you're not able to. If you weren't able to come, but you still would like to support the foundation through the Villa View.
I would say if you've enjoyed any of the last 3-4 years, and if you could even, if most of the people that listen could just spare £1 on this page, then that would really take us up to about £4,500.
Yeah,
which would be an excellent thing to do. And I've been speaking to Foundation today, actually, one of the girls in the foundation, and they're like amazed at how much we've raised just from doing that event. So it is incredible, and people were so generous, not only with what they donated us, their time, their love, and it was a really good evening. It was a really, really good evening. Yeah,
we got to speak to Tony Daly, to Ian Taylor, to Emma Follis, and Amy West as well, who, just such a range of opinion there, and it was just really nice. Again, a great opportunity for us, and we'll get those videos up ASAP. Obviously, with the cup final, it's been a bit busy.
They won't make much sense. Well, they will make sense, but
you have to deal with a bit of the preview of the cup final, but it is what it is.
We've got some old faces there as well. Unfortunately, Dolan couldn't make it. Could I mean, want to thank him for his contribution to the podcast as well, because he's been in a high number of these podcasts. But it was good to catch up with him on Sunday after the game as well. But Matt Lynch was there. Rollo was there for a bit of the time as well, when he could tear himself away from his girlfriend.
Please, donate if you can. We'll put the links in this video and at the top of the Villa View social stuff as well. Please, thank you for supporting us and the foundation, and I think that's just the last word, isn't it, really?
I mean, you put in a stupendous performance as the auctioneer again.
The auctioneer.
That's what my mum always calls it. I think it's wrong.
It is wrong.
I do have to give you credit, not only for your performance on the evening, because obviously you lead it all, and I think you did it really well, but also you had to enjoy my mother.
That was
a large portion of the day.
I learnt a lot about your mother's family background.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, was it?
Very interesting.
I've got to say, I was having a shower before we went to the Villa View Live, and I could hear Tom talking to my mum downstairs, and there was a conversation about genealogy and genetics and family history had come up, and I was thinking, oh God, my mum's boring him to tears, and then I thought, actually, to be fair to my mum, there's every chance Tom's brought that conversation up.
She has a fascinating history, and I was just intrigued to know more. So there you go. Anyway, great night. We'll get the video up. This one will obviously go up as our last one.
Yeah, last ever. The finale.
I think it's only fair that you plug for the last time your
you've given me some stick about
your vanity project. No, because
vanity project.
No, I'm joking. Because it's good, and it's high quality, and if you like the Villa View, then Dan is going to carry on doing some stuff.
Yeah, I'll be doing the 1874 podcast with Greg for the Athletic. Might be something happening with this channel, so don't unsubscribe now, because there hopefully is something in the pipeline that won't make the 20,000 subscribers completely defunct. We'll hopefully be able to do something with that. And the main thing is, people always say to me, oh, well, I can't listen to you on the Athletic because it's not free. And it is free. Mm-hmm. So if you've enjoyed what we've done over the last few years, then if you could please support me in my podcast, that would be great, because I'd like to keep doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and lots of people kind of saying this shouldn't be the end for this kind of stuff. Who knows what's going to happen? Basically,
Yeah, it's the end for now.
It's the end for now, and I'm literally moving abroad to a new job, so I've got no idea how busy that's going to be, apart from busy. But if we can work something out, then we'll do it. If we can't, we can't. That's just the way it is. So yeah, make sure you support the Athletic 1874, and that's it.
The problem we've always had is that we've always said, if we could get a backer that could pay our salaries for a year, we could churn out videos all days. But with your new job now, your salary's gone so far. We're not going to be able to find a backer.
Not for a while.
Not to cover your salary. It'd have to be a multi-millionaire.
Unless
to cover that salary.
Wes Edens is watching and keen to keep it alive. Not for the moment. Not necessarily because of my salary, more because of the geography. Anyway,
You got your digs in about me about the Athletic on Friday, and then I was getting my
That's
digs in
true.
about it being your fault that Jana was ending on Sunday. Whenever anyone
fair.
was saying to me they were gutted on Sunday, I was going, that's this guy's fault.
has to
Not,
leave.
not my fault.
There it is. All right, nice one. Well, thank you to all of you who are still watching at this point and have been watching from the start or wherever you found this podcast. We massively appreciate it. The whole channel for the last 4 years or so, it's been a mad ride for all of us.
Yeah.
So thank you for supporting it, and this is it.
Because you have listened to some rubbish. I've no doubt that there's been some good podcasts in there and some good memories for people as well. But I salute everyone who has listened to some of the dross that we have covered: rabbits, refereeing,
My mum.
your mum, my mum, my dad. Like, there's been some absolute dross covered in this podcast. But you've all mostly seemed to have enjoyed it, and again, we appreciate it.
That was kind of the point, wasn't it? It wasn't supposed to take itself too seriously. It was supposed to be a bit stupid, and it has been a bit stupid. And if you've stuck around because you like that kind of thing, then you're our kind of people.
Do you think we lost a few subscribers when you did the Albert Adoma handstand for about 20 minutes?
I think
one episode.
I think we gained a couple.
Yeah, we lost a few audio listeners that day, I imagine, for that
that's fair.
segment.
Right, that's it. Carabao Cup is over for another year. Now it's all about the Premier League. So get behind Villa, get behind your own fans, and make sure that you're supporting Villa till the end of the season.
Yeah. Be nice to one another.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's a good message to finish on. So thank you very much for watching. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa. Weird.
That's it.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.